Well, hello again, everybody. The saga of the tilt steering column swap into the 72 Olds Vista Cruiser continues. Well, a little bit of work was done. As I was explaining in an earlier video, what had to be done to enable the automatic overdrive to shift into all gear positions was to have this arm over here lengthened to be the same distance from the outer diameter of the steering column to the center point to the pivot position, so I could have all 4 gears. It was just too short before, so it wouldn't give me all the gears. So my friend Mike was kind enough to cut a piece of metal exactly fitted into here and really make it work well. So that part of the story is continuing. That's done. And just another quick clips and stuff and things that have happened since, or I noticed was this piece over here, the locking mechanism, the lock bar, which goes in and out. When you lock the steering wheel, it comes out, it hits a plate over here, this rod, it goes in and out. This was jammed inside this piece over here, which is a sort of a pot cast metal of sorts, and it was in a real mess. It was totally jammed. In order to take it off, to fix it, you have to take this off, but this was jammed onto this over here, into the collar, inside. So that caused a whole problem. So in order to get it off, I really had to mangle and make a mess out of this spring piece over here. And fortunately, with some drawings that I found on the internet and the web and stuff, I was able to bend the spring back to the proper position, so now it works properly again. The lock pin does work alright, but it was one heck of a job to do, and I got quite discouraged about the whole prospect actually. But like I said, it's working now. It's in decent condition. I'm just going to put some grease into the assembly to help it, and so that'll stay in good condition and things, and hopefully we won't have that problem happening again, and we'll just take it from there. Just as a primer for folks who are pretty new to the hobby and stuff, cars have had for a number of years what's called energy absorbing steering columns on them, and in the event of a crash, well, even when you're wearing a seat on the shoulder harness assembly, that'll still stretch and you'll contact the steering wheel. So what will happen is there's a couple of balls on each side of over here which will ride down along this other shaft over here like that and have the tube compressed in a controlled manner for about 8 inches or so. So that helps to absorb some of the impact, and of course with addition to the steering wheel, that'll also help you, again, if you're belted in properly. And also the steering shafts themselves well, in the case of this over here, this attaches to this part of the steering column like that down as one continuous unit. So if in the case of a front end impact that's severe enough to collapse the frame of the car, this tube will ride up against this one to keep this whole column from coming back into, which was a fairly common problem in a lot of the older cars. In a case like this, you would need a pretty severe impact to have this come back any huge appreciable amount. Usually by that amount it would probably be what would be considered a fatal collision in either case. But anyway, that's just a little primer of how these things work over here, and the adventure continues. Once this is all back together, I'm going to wipe it down properly with some grease removing agent and then sand it properly down. I'm going to paint it and then wet sand it and then clear coat it so that it'll match the interior color of the car. Have to put the neutral safety switch, reverse light back on, or a reverse light switch back on as well too, and hopefully we can at least have those done. The bucket seats are ready for the car. They've been reupholstered, and then hopefully, as funds and time allow, we'll be able to get back onto the 455 project as things go on. So until then, got to get all these little bits and pieces all put back in, and away we go. Till then, take care, happy adventures with your cars and stuff, and keep poking away at them. It all comes true after a while. Bye-bye.